Hello, my friend. I'm glad to see you. How are you feeling? I'm all right. I'm a little tired right now, a little sick. Now I'm going to go wash up a bit and get myself in order. You look like a soldier who has been at war for months. It cannot be other way. That's the way it is. What did you feel when Russians left the city of Kherson on November 11th? The city for which you fought for 9 months, for which many soldiers of your battalion gave their life and health. I don't even know how to say. You can even call it a shock, in a positive sense. Because everything was so intense and we suffered losses. My unit had losses all the time. There was intense shelling by artillery, aviation, rockets, helicopters, everything that's possible. Drones in the air all the time, constantly shelling 24 hours a day. And at some point, literally in a day, Russians pulled back. I mean, the enemy began to retreat. So it was a bit of a shock in the sense that fighting was in progress and their vehicles started moving. They didn't just move. It turned out that they left. Where you have been born? I'm from Kyiv region. What's your hometown? I was born in Zgurivka and lived in Makariv for almost 20 years. That city has also saw serious battles. The war caught me in Makariv. It turns out that I already had a backpack ready, because tension was already rising. And since I took part in fighting back in 2014 and 15, I was in operational reserve of the first line. I already had everything packed in my backpack. I was already ready to move forward and join the 72nd Brigade. Nobody thought that a full-scale offensive would begin. We had such thoughts, but feeling was it would be more or less happening in Donbass, in those regions. And then in the morning I heard that the cruise missiles hit. And then Russian convoys came in. Well, we started making Molotov cocktails, getting ready to meet them. But then our armed forces came and I had to hide in a cellar with my family. And then there was a little opportunity window that I took my family out of shelling and ended up in the military commissariat of Zhytomyr region, from where I went to war again, deployed in the Kherson region. A lot of settlements here in Kherson, like Apostolova, Vysokopilya, that were not known. Now you can just conduct guided tours here, as you went through these lands with your own feet. Would you like to visit any of these places after the war, or do you want to forget it all? To forget, it is hard. It's unlikely to be forgotten. But the only city where I spent the most time, it must be Mykolaiivka. We were there for almost 2 months, and it was more close to my heart. Because in other cities we were occasionally, meaning we entered in combat position and spent less time there. For example, there are settlements that are almost nothing left of them now, such as Potemkino, for example. But it was still good. Although they were destroyed, it was good to drive right through these points where we fought, and today there's no fighting there. Settlements like Ivanivka or Potemkino. When you're driving like that, of course, it's nice that you're driving a car, let's say, smoking a cigarette, comparing to that time when you have to sit with the machine gun, cocked ready to jump out of the car at any moment. Although the road is broken, and the vehicles burned, houses are destroyed. Anyhow, they will rebuild, I think. You took part in storming of Ivanivka? We were on the cover in storming of Ivanivka. We closed down the back and we provided the escape routes. From those who fought against you, what seems to be the Buryats were there. All sorts of enemies, Buryats and DNR were there, and the Buryats of LNR. They fought a little there with each other as well. Maybe they couldn't share something among themselves. From those units which you had to fight there, in Kherson region, who represented the greatest danger? Well, I won't even tell you right away, because according to the specification of our work, we are marching forward in lines. That is, we are not an assault group that is specifically going on assault. We capture positions and open fire when we are already there. We are conducting the service and observing and responding the fire. And when there's an opportunity, we move forward. There were moments, of course. We went to capture Vysokopilya. There was an attempt. It was a bit unsuccessful, but let's say it could also play its role as combat reconnaissance. We had losses there, but we managed to get out in the harm's way. This is not the first war for you, meaning that you have already had experience before. What can you say about those servicemen for whom this war became the first experience? How quickly they were able to learn? And in general, how in 9 months a completely civilian person becomes a soldier? It seems to me that it happens very quickly. It happens quickly because a person in extreme situation learns 10 times faster and more efficiently. Let's say that being a point of permanent deployment, there is no rush there. But here you don't have time. You are forced to learn quickly, just to survive. And now you can't tell. You almost can't tell that people that were personal military before from civilians who came to fight. There's not much difference, in fact. What key skills should a soldier have to survive? I think that making a right decision quickly is the most important thing. If you make a more or less correct decision quickly, you will survive. And if you will fall into a state of shock, you will not know what you have to do with all your knowledge. It will be useless. I think so. What can you say about how satisfied or dissatisfied you are with incentives you receive from the leadership? Some of the people in our brigade receive appreciation. However, with awards, not a lot of people receive them. Although there are many worthy soldiers who deserve it. They had multiple injuries, and nonetheless, they continue to serve. They return from the hospitals no matter what. I would certainly like for these people to be recognized somehow by the leadership. And this would even be some kind of incentive for other military personnel. Although someone could argue that they are not here for medals, in fact, it would be very nice for a person to receive an award. And how much time award letters are not signed as of now? It's already 11 months that we participate in active battles. So we can say that it already has been 8 months already. We had moments that our boys could have been given some kind of award. Did you personally receive some awards? Just an acknowledgement. I received a certificate.
бата
We received a diploma from the commander of battalion, and that's all.